volunteers, community members, all of them. And with extreme temperatures across the country, people are being urged to keep an eye out for animals as well. Heat stress can be particularly dangerous for animals, whether it's domestic pets, livestock, or wild and native animals as well. To tell us more, we are joined now by Dr. Jessica Wilde, Chief Veterinarian at Melbourne's Lort Smith Animal Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Wilde. What makes heat particularly dangerous for animals, and what are the certain animals that are particularly at risk in these sorts of conditions?
Yeah, look, thank you so much for having me. Look, our animal friends just don't cool themselves the same way humans do. So dogs in particular rely on panting. Our cats rely on grooming, and they sweat a little bit through their paws. But when the temperatures rise, those sort of methods become really ineffective, which makes them really vulnerable to heat. We particularly need to be concerned about our flat-faced breeds, so French bulldogs, pugs, Persian cats. They're particularly vulnerable during this time of year. Older and younger animals, once again, we really need to be extra cautious with. Those that are maybe experiencing other medical conditions too, extra sign to just be extra cautious during these times of the year with those particular pets.
We were speaking earlier to our reporter Steph Ferrier, who's near the big Longwood blaze, and she was saying at the relief centre it's like a menagerie. There are people who have brought their pets from home, and there are lots of different animals in the one space. When you're looking out for the symptoms of heat stress in those animals, what would you be looking out for?
So we tend to find when animals are particularly heat stressed, the most common things that we're seeing is excessive panting, drooling or frothing around the mouth region. Animals tend to get really distressed during that time, so they're often trying to seek shade or trying to seek cooler areas. So they're trying to often move in a more erratic way. And then when things start to get a little bit worse, then we do start to see that they're generalised sort of weak. We start to see that their gums become a different colour. So normally they're a nice pink colour, and they can start to look red. And then once again, when we start to progress to even more extreme signs of heat stress, then we start to see collapse, even seizures, for example.
Obviously, you deal a lot with domestic animals, but when we see these sorts of conditions and these sorts of fires, native and wild animals, we see a lot of losses there as well. What are some ways that people might be able to help and assist native and wild animals?
Yeah, these times of year, and in particular, we're dealing with such extreme conditions in Victoria at the moment. Our wildlife definitely do suffer. So Victorians have always been so good at really trying to help them out. So putting out extra bowls of water is particularly critical. Trying to provide shade in different areas as well can really be helpful. But the particular thing is, if you do notice that there's a heat-stressed wildlife, to approach them really cautiously. A lot of them are stressed and can actually hurt us too when they're in a stressed state, and then contact Wildlife Victoria in particular to help with any advice.
All right, that's great advice. Dr. Jessica Wilde, we really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much.